Alright, good morning, good day. Welcome back to the African Crypto Warlord show. I hope you guys are doing well. Today I'm going to do an analysis on XRP. It's become a little bit easier to start calling out the levels now that XRP has sort of been consolidating in this $2 plus to whatever it is, just shy of $3 range. Yeah, our previous targets did hit. I wasn't expecting the ultimate high one, which is somewhere around here, 280 or something, to actually get smoked. But yeah, now we can start to like really define what is going on. So long story short, I will start from the 90-day and I'll work it all the way down to the 1 minute. So what you're watching here is the 1 minute. You will see that there's these extended lines that are being, these little extended lines, that's my Laplace distribution cone. Those are my holy grail levels. And then I obviously have a whole bunch of other data to quantify it with, all right? Daily levels, weekly levels, monthly levels, all that stuff. But let's jump into it. What I will say is what will be super interesting is I think it's a 3-day cone and the 24-hour cone. There's a nice line in the sand over there, but if we compare the two, and then I have a 90-minute cone, I have a 3-hour cone. And the 3-hour cone is actually really good. I don't use it often. I would usually use the 90-minute cone. But the 3-hour cone, because of the amount of volatility we've had in the book, it's captured it quite nicely. Then we have a 15-minute cone and a 1-minute cone. So there'll be some actionable trades on the 30-minute, on the 3-hour cone, 90-minute cone, and 15-minute cone. And then obviously the 1-minute cone. All right, currently she's trapped in between, just to keep it simple, pretty much she's trapped between $2.56 to $2, what's that, move around, $2, a little higher, 58, $2.58.80, okay? Let's get into it. Long story short, XRP is back at its daily mean reversion target. So it's always a safe place, as you've seen on my previous Bitcoin analysis. Let's go. Okay, so what do we see here? This is on the 90-day on Poloniex. We can see arrows pointing up, more than likely broken through an outlier here. These are hitting confidence levels. Gonna have to wait for the red flash to pull through in 70 days. Nothing else much that I can get here. The slower bots and algos, because it's on a higher time frame, like the retail bots and algos, they may be trying to look to get short here. And let's see here, 45-day, no volatility read. Same thing as the 90-minute has finally indicated that there's a confidence interlevel. Why do I keep on saying interlevel? Sorry. Confidence level. I'll just say that. And it's starting to trigger off a subtle over here. So the 90-day and the 45-day, they're going to match on the same print. Then we have the 21-day, which will be printing 3 days before that. And now we have volatility reading. Long story short, volatility reading on the 21-day is saying contraction, well, sort of positively correlated, which would mean negative drift. So a whole bunch of small candles down, and you'll more than likely see that on other lower term time frames, like 2 time frames divided 2 or 3, divide 21. So you have the 14-day here. 14-day is opposing the 21-day quite nicely with positive drift, but XRP lost its trend to the upside. Currently, it's in a random walk. So a little bit of choppiness. That's why we've got like a 90-minute, 3-hour, 15-minute cone thrown up. Very good. 7-day, as you can see, maybe there, yeah, as you can see, she broke the model here, Not much relevance to me right now. Contracting 50-50, RO is starting to point down. A lot of noise on the 7-day, that prints in 4 days, so that's going to print on the same time as the 21-day, so that'll be quite cool. We'll see some 7-day and 21-day confluence match up on these higher term time frames in about 4 days and 12 hours. Here we have the 5-day, same effect, absolutely demolished the cone. It's stuck in positive drift. Actually, judging by this, trying to look for a trend, I'd say at least on the 5-day time frame, if you can close in the next 2 days and 13 hours above, pretty much where we're at here. Let me just super zoom on this one. If you can close above $2.57 22, then you will more than likely be able to start curling this thing into a positive, into a more positive trend continuation. And once you pretty much print above that level that I've said here, you'll have your hidden bull div play through. All right. And currently with negative drift in the book, I mean positive drift in the book, and this hidden bull div, that could be a tidy little play. It's going to need a lot of work, at least here, to stop the DLP from mean reverting to the downside. ALR is actually starting to gain some traction to the upside here. 5-day sell orders, you can hold you can hold your buy order, for me at least, on the 5-day for the next 2 days, or unless we start closing below whatever that was, $2.57. Hasn't flashed red, so at least the 5 days are still keeping it through. Now this is quite a nice one. I'll do this as a line in the sand. So as you can see, similar effect. We'll just use this one on the left because it's closest to price. Load big. Cool. As you can see, XRP pretty much playing quite nicely in the cone. Broke through from this level down here, and its line in the sand, if it was to stay bullish, like I'd say for long term, for the next 3 to 7 days, it needs to pretty much hold above $2.44.29. Okay, that's its line in the sand. If it starts failing here, I would expect bear action. All right, bear action for XRP. All right, and now there's nothing. Only the 24-hour cone is gonna. So we're gonna say that level here at $2. Just call it 44 cents, $2.44. This will be our range now. Now as we move, that's 50. That's actually sneaky pump mode. So as long as it holds above $2.44, you can see that the 5-day and the 3-day will be allowed to turn around here. ALR is slightly creeping up a bit bigger. Sneaky pump mode. If it's in sneaky pump mode, I know that this thing's wanting to look for a trend. And the general observation, just with the pitching of these indicators, with the mean reversion here on DLP, would be to the upside. Okay. Now I'm going to put the line in the sand here. It doesn't get the upside. Obviously, these are big moves, but I'm saying like into the next dollar range. It doesn't get the upside if it has to. First off, it has to close above $2.44, I think is what I was saying. And now this is your range. As soon as XRP can start closing above $2.70, or like get above $2.70, it becomes wild. Okay. What can I see here? I can see that volatility is looking to expand. All right, nice little doji candle coming in here. Volatility is looking to expand. It has lost its trend though, so I'd maybe guess this candle would have to be above its current wick on the 24-hour or the daily. The 24-hour candle needs to come up, and that will start to trigger this thing into a pump mode. All right, RO here is pretty much saying down. As I say, you're not gonna. The ultimate fight for XRP is trying to open and close any candles above $2.70. You can do that. I think this thing gets super bullish. You can't do that, then you got that $2.44 region that you're going to have to keep on fighting out with. And that's pretty much where this mean is going to come in on our reverse wave trend, okay, on the next print in 12 hours. So you hold above this mean, aka the 3-day top side of the cone, you'll push through. Well, you hold above that, still bullish. You close below that, bearish. But furthermore, if it is going to be super bullish, I need to see it clear at $2.70. And it needs to take sols the next time it comes up here. As you can see, it already tried to take some sols, but the bears were there. All right. Failure, at least on the 24-hour. We can't always be super bullish. But just for interim trading, I'd say any failure today below $2.5555, you will start to look for a push back down into that $2.4444 region. Okay, 12-hour, what have we got here? 50-50. Sorry, what's that? Yeah, so that's 50-50. Quite a lot of 50-50s at the moment. Nothing too great to see here. We could just say close above $2.60 on the dot. Trend might push up, start closing below pretty much exactly where this is. So any failures below $2.56 flat, I would look for a dump to happen, as just on these now intraday time frames, we can see that there's something brewing here, but we have the 3-hour We have other things. Okay, 6 hour absolutely blew its model. As you can see down here, it's completely out of it. Not much I can gather off of this except for it being negative drift. So a little bit of choppiness here on these lower term time frames, which makes me happy because like now I can start scalping my 15-minute cone, my 1-minute cone. I love range bound price action. Okay, what's this? This is the 3 hour. Did I not have the cone set up? Okay, so then it's the 90-minute cone. All right, so here what can we see just out of general observation? It's 50-50 again on the 3 hour as we've come up and tagged our VRE daily mean reversion target. So that'll be the line in the sand for today, $2.5783. Closes above there. Now you start having the opportunity to break to the top side of that $2.70 cone on the 24 hour. Closes below here, you start looking for that $2.44 region. All right, so that's 1, 2. Wow, this is 1, 2. Where's the third one? So it's probably on a line. Okay, yeah, $2.42. Just call it $2.43. Okay. Whew. 90-minute. Whoa, bro. Wait. Was I looking at another asset? Anyway, okay, so it's my 45-minute cone that should be in the game. Okay, it doesn't really matter. I'm very sorry that I led you on there thinking that the 90-minute and the 3 hour cone was actually on. Maybe this thing reset. I'll have to double check. Let's see, that's in pump mode. Pump mode is only going to continue if the next candle can close above $2.5845. Until then, I'm just sitting in my deck in my hand by the time you guys see this trade. Point of liquidity sitting at $2.5370. So this could be a scalp down and rebuy if it is still bullish. Okay, 45-minute cone. Hold hide. Is that in the right place? Yeah, so the trading view didn't jump. Okay, this is quite cool. And we'll do left skew first. Easily put. Let's bring this forward so you guys can see. Touches this blue. All right, opened up. Touches this blue. Next observation would be at least want to target this blue. Okay, came in, held above this pink line, which I do look as doesn't matter the coin, doesn't matter the asset. You can hold above this pink line, super bullish. Inverse, if it comes up and down and fails this pink line, super bearish. All right, so that was a play. Pink, and it hit all the way to the outside here. Now, what you're pretty much trying to do is, if you are bullish, you are looking for a target up here at $2.6200. This is on 45-minute, $2.62. Now you hold that level, you're going to shoot up into now that top side of the daily cone at $2.73 region. Okay, now long story short, you start failing below this blue line because we've hit the other side of the cone. Because we've hit this side of the cone, drastically, you're going to start looking at the bottom side of the cone. So that's at $2. But given we've come into this top side of the cone, we'll use the outside one here. That's $2.08. Next target would be $2.18. Next target would be, because we touched the pink here, $2.31. Mean reversion is $2.40. This bullish posturing starts to fade out at $2.46. All right, so we have that $2.44 somewhere in here, and again, this is a little bit noisy. So now I'll apply the same thing. That's the no skew cone. We'll apply the same thing to the skewed cone. Let me just get direction of volatility here. Getting a little bit choppy, but that's all right. Came in, hit the blues, same effect. So next target's the downside. To the upside, if this wants to carry on being trendy, $2.5987. Get there, hold above there. Next target is now into that same top side of the daily cone at $2.72. All right, start failing below $2.60 flat. Next initial target down here would be $2.44. All right, so that $2.44 target matching up quite nicely right here. Now, if it can hold $2.44 on pretty much any retracement, as we've just seen on that other previous coin, holds above this pink line, it's super bullish. But given this is crypto, it can go both ways. So if it fails $2.44, next initial target down for a bounce scalp would be $2.38. Just call it $2.39. Okay. That's pointing down to the downside. Next one would be $2.30. And if it can hold $2.30, I see it getting trapped in a range here, maybe for a day or two. Okay, we did hit the top side of the cone, so we'll do this. So I did hit the top side of the cone, and its ultimate worst target whilst I'm seeing this is $1.99. More than likely by the time it gets there, if it does get there, $1.95. Okay. Bottom side target for this blue, because it did touch that blue, is $2.06, $2.16, pretty much. Okay. So that's a very nice range. Let's see what volatility is saying. It's 50-50. I want to see the next time this thing might print a new candle. We're not getting anything anytime soon. Okay, now to the 15-minute cone, which is like more for like actionable scalps. How do I want to explain this one? I'll do the right hand side first. There, it will lead better. It might be understandable. All right, so as we know, as I've been saying, as XRP, and this is for this 15-minute candle, if volatility on all my indicators doesn't hit zero, so I have to place a new cone, what am I expecting here? XRP's come in, hit the mean reversion targets a few times, outside of the cone, outside of the cone, outside of the cone. So if this cone, if volatility doesn't flash zero, and XRP keeps on staying choppy and doesn't like get into a very tight consolidation, a stupid number would be all the way up here to $3, just call it 30 cents. So $3.30 is in the book. That's a huge rip. I'm guessing it would be a good news rip. And its mean reversion target here is $2.87. So that's now completely broken outside of our 24-hour Laplace distribution cones. And that gets wild. So if it does close above $2.70, which is pretty much right here at our +2 daily, if it does start getting out of that and holds this, I would look for its natural mean reversion here on 1, 2, 3, level 3 of my daily targets. Hold that, she's off to the races. All right, that becomes the range. Okay, now pretty interesting, and I like that the cone is outside of the data, especially if I'm trying to maximize moves, so I can like go from one side of the cone to the other side of the cone. At least on this has shown me something quite good. Long story short, we start failing this daily VRE mean, it will bring us into our other side of the cone. Okay, and our other side of the cone will be telling us something different. But I do know this is its break for XRP. Long story short, we came in, we hit the blue. As you can see, we tried to hit that blue, but we did eventually hit the blue. It took us all the way up. Because we broke out of the cone over here, all right, I would expect, at least if I only had one cone, I would expect another target about $2.20. Okay, and what's going to stop that? Initially, you have these two blue lines. And this is a weekly VRE level sitting at $2.31.70. Okay, it's only really going to get there if it starts showing bearish signs at about $2.51.50. Okay, start showing bearish signs here. I would look for a flash down into this untouched weekly VRE mean. Some guys could say it's tested. I don't think it's tested. Okay. Touch here, as we can see that this quantifiable data is pretty much sitting at $2.30 to $2.32. So if there was a drastic failure, I would look for an initial save somewhere in here. If it slips this one back into this other weekly level, $2.25 to $2.23. So if I'm super bullish, I want to see XRP start breaking into $2.62. All right, that's on the 15-minute cone. As you can see, if it does start doing that, then have we got any colors matching up? Let me look left, blue, just shy, no data as of yet. Top side of the cone, no colors. Okay, cool. All right, so that's your line in the sand, at least with stuff that's tradable. If you're watching this today, okay, we hold here, we're pushing $3. If we hold above here, I immediately think we're pushing $3. Next retest would be $2.51. We hold that again. That becomes that whole super bullish thing I say. So if it does retrace, hold $2.51.50. It holds there and puts a nice like wick structure like we can see here. bang, I would expect the upside. Fail that, pretty much now into those weekly levels that we've already quantified. This should have actually been the 5 minute. 5 minute, this isn't really going to help out too much here what I'm doing, but let's just see. First, contraction and volatility. Oh, let me get this reading. That's technically losing its pump mode, so it's getting trapped in this daily VRE. And 3 minute negative drift is coming in. All right, so that's going to creep it down. This will be pretty good. Is this thing still in the right place? Yes. Okay. Whew. Escape velocity for XRP is about $2.60 that we can see on the 15-minute cone and the other higher time frame cones. So that's escape volatility, or I'm not going to say price discovery, but price discovery within my cones. So we've touched this blue here. Long story short, next touch for me would be $2.56 if I was scalping this. $2.56. Anything here that can maybe put in a hidden bull div would be sitting at the zone of liquidity here, $2.57. All right, we're at the daily. There's going to be a lot of noise to be had here, but that's about the range I'd be looking for, 256.70 to 258.41. all right, let me turn all this noise off on the far right here. Ultimate power mean, we'll turn that one off. Turn that one off so we can just see it a little bit better. Hold above this pink line, still bullish. All right, those are the rules. Hold above this pink line, still bullish. Start failing this pink line at 257. Start to get bearish, and this will target to the downside would be $2. Just call it 55 cents if it does get there. So we're coming in for that touch. Perfect. Maybe he knows his things. Try get, yeah. Now if we can close there. Thank you very much. If it does fail this pink line, maybe this becomes like an iceberg order by the time you've seen this. I would expect an initial bounce to maybe try push it back up into this region, sitting down here. So just call it this low by the time it gets at $2.56. Okay, $2.56 if this does turn into an iceberg. Over here, if it does hold the pink, we make a new high now at $2, just call it 60 cents by the time it gets there. Okay, if you guys found this information helpful, please do like and subscribe. And yeah, so we have $2.60 targets pretty much here. You get into that side of things, you do push up. You then have $2.44. You get into here, it does start to get bearish. But if it does bounce at $2.44, what did we see here on this? If it holds that, it gets super bullish, right? So the next retest would be on this coin because it hasn't actually touched it. Anyway, much power. Stay fucking well. Trade safe. And our candle is up, and we haven't triggered full pump mode yet. When I did start looking at this earlier, XRP was on a daily pump. So above $2.60, I do see direction of volatility triggering a pump mode. Okay, even though these ROs are starting to tick down, we've already given those levels. All right, nothing too stressful here. And the ultimate break for XRP is $2.70. You get above $2.70, off to the races. We'll just bring that 15-minute cone back up. $2.70 is pretty much sitting up here. Okay, $2.70, and then you start looking into the bottom side of this cone to the top side of this cone, $3.30. Okay, whew. Let's get it.